Hello world, welcome to Stuff and Things, where I talk about random gaming things that I feel like talking about because I can. So that random build that I was coming up with, that didn't make it very far. I got to 26 though, since it was full of sadness and failure, and I just do not have the patience for any kind of weird challenge builds. I kind of just said, forget that. But if you're wondering, I made a spreadsheet that will randomly make a build, and you can look at it and be sad, because that's probably what's going to happen. It's kind of slow though, because it's a Google Doc spreadsheet, but you can refresh it as many times as you want to see all sorts of horrors. Don't actually expect anyone to ever level a build like that, because it would probably give you nightmares, but you can at least see the potential horrors of random builds. Champions Online has now gained a new developer team, which is basically the original developer team, except with a lot more experience now, which to me is a pretty good thing. I think the worst case scenario Champions is going to be developed as it's been developed for the last 2 years, which is fairly sporadic updates and mostly, costumes and things, but generally things that players do want. Although I suspect with a team that's as experienced as what they have working on Champions now, that they're probably going to have more in store for the game than just, a few things here and there. Oddly enough, this news has generated all kinds of cynicism and snide comments, which makes absolutely no sense. It's like, how is this news bad? Really? Really? I don't know. The amount of cynical crap that has been going on in the game and on the forums is just long since gotten old. Frankly, it's just irritating at this point. It's like, okay, you're grumpy, we get it. Just why don't you go away and play another game that makes you happy instead of sitting here pining over how Champions is the disappointing child that never lives up to your expectations. It's like, okay, you've made your point, you're grumpy and unhappy. Go find a cute puppy or a cute kitten and give them a hug and pet them and love them and be happy. I find it funny that from time to time people bring up the crafting system that used to be in Champions Online. Now I remember when it was in the game and people complained about it endlessly. They hated the grind for the crafted travel powers. The gear wasn't exactly amazingly useful. It's just people were like, anything would be better than this. And then it was ripped out of the game, and now people are like, oh man, remember when we had this great crafting system and it was super awesome and gave us something to do and blah blah blah. It's like, I thought everyone was complaining about the crafting system when it was around, and now they're not. It's like, maybe they're not the same people, but I remember no one ever saying anything nice about the crafting system when we had it. I don't like it. I still don't like it. I say good riddance because I don't miss it at all. Crafted travel powers? No thanks. I just picked up mine in the Q store. I could just buy them now. And I have my rad spear, hyperball. That's all I really wanted, and I didn't have to grind for it. I'm not a big fan of crafting in pretty much any game because it's almost always incredibly boring. Normally you can't pick up the materials you need as you're leveling and doing other things. You have to specifically go and grind and grind and grind and grind just to raise your skill level, and it usually ends up being incredibly boring. It's like crafting never keeps up with your character levels. It's like, well, I can go to the next zone now, but my crafting isn't leveled up enough, so now I have to waste all this time grinding to up my crafting level, which super sucks. I guess. If they want to put in a new crafting system, at least not make it horrible like it used to be. That can stay gone forever. I don't ever want to see the old crafting system back because it was just bleh. And then we don't have a crafting system at all now. We have mod fusion, which is not crafting, it's just fusing mods. It's just super easy. It'd be nice if we could, fuse them a whole bunch at a time, giant stack, fuse them all at once. What every other game does with their crafting, you can just do everything all at once, 10 at a time if you wanted to. Be super I do actually like the crafting that they have in Neverwinter, partially because I can do it all online without having to log into the game just through their website, which that's pretty cool to me. Like, I can just, like, go in, check on my crafting stuff, and do more crafting, and I don't have to do anything. I just go to the website, I don't even have to log into the game. Pretty awesome. If they want to put a crafting system like that in Champions Online, I have no problem with that. So I haven't played Neverwinter in a long time, because it's just not that great a game to me. It doesn't have very much customization. I mean, you have your classes, and there's not a whole lot you can do with them. You can't go like crazy with your character like you can in Champions Online. I mean, at least, even if you're using an archetype in Champions, you can still go hog wild with how they look. So Neverwinter's kind of like not too terribly interesting for me. Their wardrobe system kind of sucks too, but I mean, I guess you can look pretty within reason, but no, I'll stick with Champions. I do think some of their powers look really cool. Like, they have like a nice flair to them. I'd like to see some of those animations in Champions, because they look pretty cool. As far as Path of Exile goes, I did actually manage to get the entire blue armor set, which is pretty amazing, since I've never had a level 80 character before, and now I do. I pretty much did all of the challenges by myself, except for the boss kill, which I paid someone else to do because I really wanted that hat. The helmet looks nice, so when I level my new character and I have to wear an ugly piece of armor, I can just be like, nope, I have this nice helmet, I'm just gonna put that on instead. I do have a few other things that can hide the ugly helmet armor that exist, but sometimes having skull heads and the imp mask gets old, and having a nice armor helmet with like pretty wingy things on it is a nice change. I didn't get the red boots. I was really close to finishing the challenge, and I was actually doing surprisingly well considering, you know, I play very, very recklessly, and I like to open up treasure boxes with monsters in them without bothering to identify them and see what's in them, and see what's gonna get dumped on my head. So I kill a lot of my hardcore characters, but this time I was killed by the server desync, which sucks. It's actually why I stopped playing hardcore in the first place. Basically, what happens is, on my screen, I'm safely away from a group of mobs, but the server thinks that I'm in the middle of a giant mob group and that I'm getting beaten to death. And then when they both sync up again, my character ends up being dead. It's a known problem in the game. Apparently there is a fix that they're working on, and they're going to be putting out in their closed beta like next week, because they're working on Act 4. So that'll be exciting. I might actually play hardcore again so that I can freely kill my characters with my reckless playstyle. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm like the best player ever, but I really don't need help killing my characters because I am quite capable of doing it all by myself without help from server desync. If you excuse me, I have some driving in the desert to do, and possibly some people to run over because getting off a motorcycle is too much effort.